Welcome back to Lecker Bites, the weekly show of insights of the life of Lecker, the exciting Lecker journey. Thank you for tuning in again. This week we are going to talk more about our two new countries that we have just launched in. First, we launched in Puerto Rico. Very cool. To be honest with you, I have not been there. I had to look it up on the map where exactly Puerto Rico is. As someone who's been based in Asia for a long time, this is a very new corner of the world. Super cool to see Lecker's entry into the market of Puerto Rico, which is somewhat part of the United States. So, however, we treat it as its own country, its own culture, its own language, its own, of course, sport ecosystem. And on the back of our launch on the feed, which we did a few months ago in the US, we had Coral, our new friend in Puerto Rico, reaching out to us saying, "Hey, I tried you on the feed, and how about getting you to Puerto Rico?" We say, "Sure, let's figure it out." And so for the last few months, we've been planning the first order from Vietnam, to Puerto Rico. What I like about Puerto Rico, and this is a bit of a new area for us, we're entering the market via the cycling and gravel road and mountain biking community. So unlike other markets where we usually are more focused on running, trail running, road running, trail running, this one is going to be more about cycling because Cora and her crew are closer and very close actually to the cycling community. They are part of the Puerto Rican and national championships. They are traveling a lot across Latin America to take part in regional championships. So super cool to see that new community for us. And yeah, we got it done, and we joined with them, joined forces, and it's been a very cool journey so far to learn about that. We ship the products from Vietnam with FedEx, right from our factory's doorstep to Puerto Rico. FedEx is amazing. It takes only a few days. It arrives in Puerto Rico, and we're ready to get on going there. I think, as far as I know, they're pretty much sold many products. I'm not sure they're sold out, but they sold a lot of products in the first 7 days, more than 200 something, which is amazing. I think that is one of the fastest starts ever in any country we've launched so far. Good community helps. It's all word of mouth. I think Coral did a very good job in priming the community, getting them ready to try beforehand, and then getting them ready to buy locally. And yeah, we're excited to have the first 7 days doing so well. That is really cool. Congratulations to the team on the ground. Word of mouth is really what I think where it all goes. The fact that we are a food company, a tangible product, you gotta try it out, and if you like it, you buy it, and that's what's been happening there. We're excited to bring more products to Puerto Rico soon. We're also getting the new coffee cacao gel to Puerto Rico soon, and then we can see how that goes. But yeah, the tropical flavors, the fruits, I guess similar, tropical style from Vietnam to Puerto Rico. I think that all helps. There's certain fruity sweetness. I'm sure there's similar taste buds in that regard. So yeah, it's super cool, super exciting. And again, we're learning a lot from that community. The second country we are about to launch, really, it's Switzerland, the Schweiz, how we say in Schweizerdeutsch. And yeah, it's been also a cool journey where our friend Remy, reached out a few months ago saying, "Hey, I came across you and I'm keen to bring you to Switzerland." We said, "Yeah, sure. No issue there." We haven't really had that on the map because it's not part of the European Union, so it's slightly different for importing. But we had to go through more heaps and hoops there with Remy to understand what it takes to get products into Switzerland. But turns out it's actually quite easy. There was a bit of a wait on the customs side because Swiss people are very orderly, I guess everyone knows. We had to make sure that our products have the right import code and they fit the Swiss tariff system. But after we got the feedback and the information from the Swiss customs, which takes some time, they also have a lot of home office these days, so getting hold of someone is a bit of a tough one. But yeah, we managed to get the right numbers in place, and then Remy and our great Lekker Vietnam team organized the shipment again with FedEx. This is, by the way, not an advertisement for FedEx, but it is really we're really impressed by the service. They flew it out from Vietnam last week and it arrived 2 days ago in Switzerland. Amazing. And now we're ready to launch in Switzerland. Of course, a key market really for outdoor sports. It's based right in the Alps. It's part of the whole great outdoor sports happening in Europe, across the Alps, whether it's cycling, running, trail running, mountain biking, I mean, you name it, hiking. Swiss is a perfect place for that. And also, I think they do appreciate good food. They do appreciate good products. They do appreciate natural products. They have a very strong food community where they really care about the high quality of food. I've been to Switzerland many times, and it's amazing what sourcing they have and how also a lot of locally grown products they are using. I think that is, they stand out there in Europe for me. So we hope that with our approach of wholesome, real food, in this case from Vietnam, it will also work with the Swiss. And yeah, the challenge there, of course, it's actually a fairly large market. It's not just a little island. It's a very established, very busy, very crowded outdoor sport nutrition market. I'm curious to see how Remy and us are going to crack it. I think there's a few different approaches there. Community matters. Community matters. I've been repeating myself many times, and we'll see how we're taking it on. So Remy's based more in the German-speaking Swiss part, so a bit northern Germany and northern Switzerland, and we'll go about it first. Let's see. Yeah, I think it's going to be interesting for us to get into Switzerland, as it's a very sophisticated market, and we have to make sure that the positioning works. Both of them, Switzerland and Puerto Rico, are on Instagram, so they have their own Instagram account. So it's lekker.ch for Switzerland and then lekker.Puerto Rico, Puerto Rico, of course. So we always give our partners, if they want to, their own Instagram account so they can localize content. Lekker is really this network of various partners, distributors. I'm a big fan of decentralization. I'm not a big fan of hierarchy and strong corporate structures. I believe more into networked systems and networked partnerships where we're all somewhat equal and pulling together in this big ship and all of our roles to play, rather than Lekker, in this case, controlling everything from the top. It's more about working together. Though that's also for marketing, where there are some guidelines, there are some rules, there are some design templates, but in general, the content is usually very localized in language and style. If you check out Lekker Denmark on Instagram, they are doing a great job also in localizing the content for the Danish communities with Danish athletes, Danish language, and then having their own posting. It's important to us, and that also people feel they have a connection to their local suppliers, local community. They don't know us, Lekker Global, that well, but they do know this distributor, our partner. So they need to have that connection there. Hong Kong is also similar. Lekker Hong Kong also has its own Instagram account with our partner Foodism. They're also doing a good job there. So having this, the support and the local connection, I think the local trust, that's what it comes down to. That really works for us very well. And we're just, as Lekker, working more on the background, making sure that it all kind of ties together, because chaos is good, also only until it does not work anymore. So we also make sure that the networked systems are connected and are operating well. And I have personally to do a much better job there, to be honest with you. Exciting times. So Puerto Rico and Switzerland are on board. They joined the Lekker universe, how I say. We have a few more universes joining us soon. Few more, not universes. We have a few more partners joining the universe soon. I can already share with you that France looks very likely, and Dubai, the UAE, two other very exciting markets. Very excited about France, of course. It's large. I'm not sure the numbers, but I would say in the top 5 of outdoor sports market in the world. Maybe in Europe is number 1. I think they're larger than Germany actually, given that the French have great outdoor lifestyles in the Alps and in the coasts. So super cool. France is exciting. Also there, we are looking to get into the community via cycling again. In this case, road cycling. And who does not know Tour de France, which is one of the largest sports events in the world. And so our partner is quite close to those communities. So we're keen to get going there in France, and also a strong real food competition, unlike other markets like US. In France, there are many other brands, great brands actually. Bao Nutrition, for example, who's fantastic in providing real food nutrition. I think that's also where, we're going to be tested much more on how consumers compare us to other real food brands, which we don't have that much competition, for example, in Vietnam. And then Dubai, that's also coming. We're entering there with the energy gel market, and I'm curious how that will go. It's more similar to Singapore, Hong Kong, believe, so hot and humid climate, and more of an island, so very tight, smaller communities, but everyone knows each other. And it's also a different challenge again on flavor and taste, where we can definitely see now a difference on how people enjoy lekker in colder, drier climates versus hotter, humid climates. I can tell you that some flavors work better in those, and some flavors work better in others. And Dubai is clearly on the hot and humid, definitely hot side. And it's going to be more around fitness, running, cycling. I think we don't have a particular focus there in mind. The market is smaller, so our partner goes broader right away. Fingers crossed, touch wood, when we get those through soon. And then, we had a pretty exciting few months in terms of new partnerships and new countries. We can only also onboard that many countries at once. It would otherwise break our factory, and we're doing it organically, step by step, country by country. Otherwise, the supply chain also needs to be tested first. In the meantime, we're pretty happy what has been happening in US. We had this month, or like May, was Memorial Day month. So our partners, the Feed, Garage Grown Gear, ran a few promotions, some discount campaigns alongside, as we were part of those larger campaigns. And from what I can see, it seemed to go quite well. The Feed sold quite a bit of lekker on their platform, and we just had the coffee cacao gel also arrived with the Feed. So finally, we also get those out, and I have a very good feeling about this flavor. It is this very good Robusta coffee, and that really has been getting good feedback, as I already talked about it on the last episode. Well, that's the summary for this week in terms of countries. In terms of products, I think the biggest update is that we decided to not anymore continue our R&D into a hydration powder that is based on maltodextrin or fructose or sucrose. Let's call them all processed sugars. We probably spent 8 months on researching those powders, testing left, right, center, getting quotes, getting samples, talking to athletes, talking to the community about it, to our partners. And while such powders are fairly easy to make, actually, I mean, you just put together your dextrin, your fructose, sucrose, you find the right ratio, add some magnesium, potassium, citric acid, that's it. It's pretty easy to make. Honestly, you can do it yourself at home, by the way, and you don't have to pay $3-4 for certain brands out there. But also at the same time, we decided, it's a bit against our brand. We are about real food. We are about keeping it natural. And that's one. And I think secondly, after having done a much more research on the damage that those processed sugars can cause, especially around the gut bacteria, the microbiome, we weren't convinced that this is anything good we want to support. I know there's right now this whole trend about high carbs, so taking 120 grams of carbs per hour for endurance exercise. So usually that's more than like if you're doing the 50K, 100K, like long distance races. I know this that experiments are backing it. I'm struggling to see the benefit of this. I am a fan of things in moderation makes sense. Having 120 grams of dextrin per hour will damage your gut bacteria and will damage your gut in general. I cannot. I mean, anyone can do what they want to do, of course. I'm just not saying that I want to, as a brand, we should support this. We should stay with our brand of keeping it real. And although we have a lot of demand, people are really asking us, especially in Asia, when do you have a powder? Can you make a powder? Can you make a powder? We are denying that commercial opportunity right now, and have to say no. You know? But if you say no here, then another door opens, and we are still saying yes to doing more research, and we are looking into if there any other natural way of having a hydration powder. So thinking out loud here without giving out any promise, but something like honey powder, for example, could work, which is also high carb source, which is natural, which has a lot of other good benefits like minerals and antioxidants. Let's see. Something is out there. I know there's something out there. When I did some research here in the US and what other powders out there, I couldn't find any powder that is not from processed sugars. Everything from processed sugars. And like either we are here onto something, or which I think we're not, or it's something that is too difficult to make, and so it's been not possible to make for anyone. Everyone is using dextrin, dextrose, sucrose, fructose, glucose, and I'm like, wow. I mean, I know why, because it's so simple and so cheap. I mean, the margins are crazy. Yeah, but again, we'll stop that train and rather look into a natural way of doing it and see where it takes us. I think there's something to explore, and maybe we end up somewhere else, but at least the journey for me is clearer on that front. What we do about it, how we go about it. It was a big decision for us because a lot of work with my team member Nob and I went into it to research, talk to factories, and yeah, saying no also takes a bit of time because you have to basically put all your work into a box and put it aside. But we're walking away with a lot of learnings and also a clear definition of who we are and what we don't want to do. So anyone out there that was waiting for the dextrin processed sugar powder, I'm sorry, it is not happening. We are keeping it natural. But yeah, we are not finished here. We are focusing on just the natural way. And at the same time, we are doubling down on the gels. They are, you know what? They're natural, they're delicious. And if you want to have a hydration drink, you can just put your gel into the water too. And take 2 gels, put them into the water, and you also have your amazingly high carb and real food hydration drink, powered by lekker gels. Yeah. But yeah, that's been another big decision for us to go out there. And otherwise, yeah, it's summer's coming, Western States is coming. I'm heading out to Western States in a few weeks' time. There's a few Asian runners coming, super excited to see them. We are there with the feed as well to hand out more samples of the new flavors, energy gel flavors we're coming up. And in general, it's always great to be there. It's a great event. I've been there last year. The Western States race was very instrumental for us last year to launch in the US. I met a lot of great athletes and community members that helped me that convinced me to launch in the US. Last year, I wasn't as ready as I might have seemed like. So it really got me the confidence this is a market we want to go into. And Western States is actually such a small event. It's amazing. Comparing it to UTMB and Mont Blanc, where there's tens of thousands of people, Western States maybe 1,000 people. So you can meet more people at once, and it's just more close-knit and more high quality than this super crazy festival in Chamonix. On this note, if you're going to Western States, or if you know anyone that's going to Western States, please let me know. I would love to talk. I love to have a lekker chat, and we can share samples, talk about what's possible in this market. Alrighty, I appreciate you listening in to this episode. I'm excited about what's next. Until then, have a good weekend and speak to you next week. Cheerio.